Welcome to Black Hollow, a town nestled deep within the forest, shrouded perpetually in a thick, swirling fog. Few ventured here willingly, and those who did often regretted it. The fog was not just a weather phenomenon, it was alive, carrying with it whispers that chilled the soul. On a particularly cold evening, a young woman named Eliza arrived. Her car had broken down just outside town, and she had no choice but to walk the rest of the way. As she stepped into Black Hollow, the fog closed in around her like a suffocating blanket. The whispers began immediately. Faint at first, barely discernible, they grew louder with every step she took. She said, leaving the countryside forever, as if that were just getting ready to start the ride. And she stepped into the large city. Eliza, they murmured. She froze. How did they know her name? She glanced around, seeing nothing but the swirling mist. Her breath quickened. Her heart pounded. The whispers continued, now in a strange, lilting cadence. They seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere. Drawn by an inexplicable compulsion, she followed the sound, her feet crunching on the gravel path. The whispers led her to the heart of the town, where a decrepit mansion loomed. Its windows were dark voids, and its doors hung ajar, inviting her in. The whispers grew frantic, almost pleading. Against her better judgment, she stepped inside. The air was colder here, heavy with the scent of decay. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet, and shadows danced along the peeling walls, though no light source was apparent. No light source was apparent. How many of you? Eliza, the whispers called again, louder now. They seemed to be coming from upstairs. Her hand trembled as she grasped the banister, ascending the staircase. Huh? She asked. Tom said. At the top, she found a room filled with mirrors. Each one reflected not her image, but scenes of her past. There was her childhood home, her high school graduation, and her funeral? She stepped closer to the mirror showing the funeral, her breath catching in her throat. There she was, lying in a coffin, her face pale and serene. No, she whispered, shaking her head. This isn't real. But the whisperers responded in unison. It is. The fog seeped into the room, coiling around her. The mirrors shattered, shards flying through the air but never cutting her. In their place stood figures cloaked in mist, their hollow eyes fixed on her. Eliza, you were ours from the moment you entered the fog, they said, their voices merging into a terrible chorus. Realization dawned. She hadn't just stumbled into Black Hollow. She had been lured here, claimed by whatever malevolent force resided in the fog. The last thing she heard before the fog swallowed her completely was her own voice, joining the whispers, calling out to the next unfortunate soul who might wander into Black Hollow. And so the fog waited, patient and eternal, whispering its haunting melody to all who dared come near.